Essentially, we gave a brief to bring together what is effectively an industrial building, which is an old post office telephone exchange, which had been converted into a playroom when the children were small, but to develop it in such a way that it felt like it was part of what was an old post office. The property consists of two essential parts, a Victorian post office and a telephone exchange built in the 1920s, which some 20 years ago, the two buildings were bridged together and there was a common dining area between the two. But the old telephone exchange had been left effectively undeveloped. It was just two rooms being used as a playroom, and it looked and felt completely separate from the old Victorian post office. So the first task was to come up with a scheme whereby the two buildings came together, and that was to basically renovate the building you can see now using light wood to make it very light and bright and feel modern, and to convert some of the bedrooms in the old house to have the same, and leave the old part of the post office as it was, which is in dark oak and quite sombre sort of colours, but it provided a contrast, and that contrast actually is what brings the two buildings together. You feel that you're in a nicely designed property, but each part of the property has got a purpose. So that was the brief, and we're very, very pleased. I mean, Glenn's taken nearly 18 months to pull us together. Difficulties have always been choosing the right materials, getting the right veneers, patterns, getting them matched. Weeks of work have been spent just selecting marble, and so you can see in the bathroom, the marble on the walls matches almost perfectly the ash in the doors. And therefore we've kept this wavy theme going right the way through the project. We went to Glenn because he had an artist's talent. Glenn isn't just a cabinet maker. He understands and feels the materials he works with. And he uses architectural timbers in the same way that a fine cabinet maker would produce a table or chair or sideboard for a sitting room in an expensive house. He brings what architects generally fail to bring. Architects are good on the drawing board, but they don't necessarily turn their vision into real things that that you can feel. Glenn has that magic where he can take an idea and create an end product that's got depth, that you are very comfortable and you want to sit inside and enjoy. And you're not too frightened to enjoy it. Things that are over-designed, you're quite often frightened to walk through the room. But with the work that Glenn does, and it starts off on the drawing board, what actually comes to you in the end is something you can feel comfortable and you can live in. And that is the magic that Glenn brings.